talk about the Great Lakes, people automatically say, yes, they're beautiful, we enjoy them, but they don't necessarily believe they can do anything to help in terms of lake health. Joining me now is Patty Birkholz, the director of the Michigan office of the Great Lakes, with more on being a Great Lakes steward. Patty, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So you have 5 things that we can do to be Great Lakes steward. And the first one was become Great Lakes literate. What do you mean by that?
Well, people need to know and need to do a little research, not a whole lot, but a little research about the Great Lakes, about their importance, first of all, but then secondly, about what causes things like algal blooms, like the other invasive species that we're starting to see now, dealing with some of the issues that they want more knowledge about, but need to do a little bit of research. And it's very easy to do. We have a Great Lakes website. We have a Michigan Great Lakes website from the Office of the Great Lakes, as do several of our other state partners around the basin. So it's easy to become literate on Great Lakes issues, particularly the lakes themselves, but also what you can do.
I like the second one you have is connect with nature.
Right.
How can we do that?
The best way to connect with nature is to spend some time on and around the lakes, taking walks in our state parks and our federal parks, spending time with your family, hiking the trails and biking. There are so many opportunities. Some of them are as close as almost your backyard, depending on where you live. Some of them are a little bit further away, but they're great for us independently to kind of get our heads together, but also to take our families, our little kids, all the way up to our adult children.
And that seems to be an easy one to do, to connect with nature. But this one, the third one, make wise choices in landscape.
Yes.
Does that start to get a little difficult for people?
Well, it's not as difficult as it sounds. We do still have some invasive species, plants that are being sold in some nurseries, in some communities around the Great Lakes. So we need to know whether they're invasive or not. And the basic question is, when you go to a store, when you go to a nursery to buy something, you know, whether it's that beautiful shrub or the large tree or even the flowers, is to ask the people who work there to make sure that they're not invasives. Because believe me, if you plant an invasive in your yard and it takes off, you're going to have a hard time either controlling it or getting rid of it.
All right, your fourth one is be part of the solution.
And all of the things that we've already talked about leading up to that, be part of the solution. If you have some basic knowledge about the Great Lakes, about our ecosystem, then you can find ways where you can be part of the solution. We have the Great Lakes sweep, where we do across the Great Lakes, all of the states within the Great Lakes do a beach sweep on Saturday next week. And you can get involved in that. You can get involved in your local community, whether it's helping out at your local parks, helping do cleanups, helping with the education programs. They can always use volunteers when they do education and outreach. And it's a great family activity.
And just take a little bit of time. So the last one is get involved to protect and restore natural places.
And that is something that is easy to do also. Look around your communities. Most of us have places in our communities that we want to see restored, whether it's one of our lakes, one of our rivers or streams, and they're always looking for volunteers. And volunteer doesn't necessarily mean you always need to be out there working, but you can give of time and effort in your home, making phone calls, connecting with other people, helping outreach and education. So there are many ways that that everyone can help at every level, every age group, in every community. Lots of different and variety of experiences that you can all enjoy but learn from and help save the Great Lakes for our future generations.
All right, be empowered. Thanks so much, Patty Birkholz, for joining us. We appreciate it.